I decided to chase my dreams for 365 days, and this is exactly what happened. So I was actually an aspiring musician, and it ended up going really, really well. I managed to achieve complete financial freedom. I had a couple penthouses by the beach in 2 different countries. I even managed to secure some important connections like Tame Impala. His house is over there. Yeah, no, that didn't happen at all. Absolutely not. It was actually one of the hardest years of my life, and it was damn near the opposite of all of that. To be honest, it was quite a difficult year. I experienced significant burnout. I started doubting myself and doubting God, and I pushed a lot of people away from my life. It was a really big struggle. However, I realized from chasing my dreams that there's always positive and negative things that I've learned along the way. I don't know about you, but I'm a really nomadic person. I like to wander. I just detest routine. It's not even that I like to escape things. I just can't be boxed into something. Whether it's a really important job or it's not, it just doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't resonate with my soul. When I look at all these celebrities and you look at all these actors and musicians, you see them when they're living in their car trying to make something happen, or they're moving to different cities, and then they randomly stumble upon a very important connection, and now they get thrusted into their dream life. Well, I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but the thing is that it's a dream for a reason, because most people are not going to get it. And this is not to be pessimistic and say that it's not possible. Trust me, I believe anything's possible if you really put your mind to it and if you really do your best. And if it doesn't work, it just wasn't meant for you. You can actually pivot to something greater. My point being is that I feel like we glamorize the storyline, we glamorize the struggle, and we glamorize the journey that it takes to achieve it because it's so chaotic, and it's a visual testament to the human strength and the human endurance. So when I was doing my own thing, like I had a window cleaning business back home in Canada. I would knock on doors with nothing, just a window pole, and I'd go on the train because I didn't have a car, and I'd knock on people's windows, and I made it a legit business. And then I come to Australia, I buy a van that I live in for 4 months, and I'd road trip pretty much a lot of the country. And I'm living in that van, and I build a studio inside, and I make music, and it's like I'm chasing this dream. I work here, get some money, and then 2 hours a day, edit the videos. I'm going to the gym, okay? I take my music production set with me in there, and it's like, people were like, okay, you're doing something. And I felt like I was doing something, but I'm just operating in survival mode with some wheels on. And then I realized that even though that I'm doing things that I love and I'm putting my mind to something and I'm being purposeful, I'm simply just trying to justify my existence. You don't have to stick to something because you think you need it. Like I realized with this music thing, even though it's in my nature to do it, and for you might have some creative things that are in your nature, you have to actually look inside and be like, is this something that is truly aligned with me, and am I doing it for myself for the most part, or is it external validation? Because I realized in my case, I enjoy it, but I was trying to do it to prove something, to have a chip on my shoulder that I can overcome. I wasn't actually doing it because it's truly who I was and who I'm supposed to be. And I think we have to ask ourselves that question when we're pursuing a dream or a very large endeavor. You have to ask if it's internally calibrated or is it externally sought. It was not all negative, of course. I mean, by chasing this dream and failing and falling flat on my face, I've learned some pretty valuable lessons which are priceless in the long run. The first one is that the people who are not meant to stay in your life, they're gonna go. They're just gonna vanish. I was talking with my friend about this. A lot of times we're afraid of letting people go because humans, we operate off familiarity, routine, and normality. Who we see in our proximity, that's generally who we bond with. But a lot of times when you're actually trying to escape that paradigm, people are not going to recognize you anymore if you grow too much. But it's the cost of self-improvement, is that you're going to lose people because they can no longer fit you and categorize you in their current life because you have completely shifted. And that's okay. If they're not supposed to stay, they're not supposed to stay. Another thing is that when you chase a dream or when you put your mind and your body to something important, no matter how long it takes, like generally about like maybe a few months to a few years, if you dedicate yourself to something and whatever the result is, you have proven to yourself that you're a competent individual. That will literally translate to everything in life. Like when you get into a rut in the future, you're always going to remember, okay, wait, I actually put my mind to something a couple years back or 10 years ago. So I actually do have what it takes to take on this new challenge and overcome my current situation. So it's really good because it's basically evidence that you can overcome anything and you've actually dedicated yourself to something and you've already grown out of your comfort zone. It's amazing. I think this third one applies to men quite a bit, but no matter how successful you become, no matter how much vanity that you achieve, you're still seen as expendable by society. Like if you have nothing to your name, if you have nothing to you, you're just ignored, you're dismissed. But when you have something, you're sought after often for the wrong reasons. You know, people feel entitled to you. Society feels entitled to you because you should spend more on this and that. No, that's not how it works. You have no obligation to give people anything or to society. But just know that you're still seen as expendable. So at the end of the day, the best option is to just fulfill your own needs. The answer is to just be selfish in the right way. Is all that matters. Like everything else is noise. You, your tribe, that's it. Everything else is just trying to get you to, they're just trying to extract your energy and your value. Dismiss it. As a man, you have to reclaim your power. When you've achieved that success, when you actually have that momentum going for you, don't let it get to your head. Because even when you do get a lot of the things that you think is going to bring you that fulfillment, which is pleasure, it's more temporary. It's not really conducive in the long run. I mean, it's fine to have fun with it, but just know, like, don't expect society to applaud you at all when you get your success. Most of the time, it will not happen. Along the way, people aren't really gonna support. Some will. Often it's the people that you don't expect. But when you do achieve that success, a lot of the people from your life, they're not gonna like it. Just being honest, in my experience. Another good thing that it's taught is that pivoting is not quitting. Pivoting is actually smart because if you really take a step back and analyze, like, what am I doing? What am I doing this for? Am I doing it right? When you ask those important existential questions and you come to the conclusion that it's actually time to pivot because it's no longer aligned with you and it's just not working for you anymore, that is extremely important. You shouldn't fool yourself into thinking that it's quitting. Quitting is when you stop altogether. Oh, it's too hard, it's too blah, blah, blah. That's not pivoting. Pivoting is completely different and it's extremely important. You know, the last thing, it's not necessarily a good positive thing, but it's actually quite a necessary lesson that I've learned. It's that it just sucks. It absolutely sucks. You know, you look at these videos online and they say the grind is tough, but when you actually cut all the bets and you put your cards down and you actually go all in on something that you put your life on the line for and you sacrifice for, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. It is not fun. It is the opposite of glamorous. Some days you're gonna wake up and you're literally gonna wanna shoot yourself. I'm being serious because it's that brutal. It's literally just war. Like, you just have to embrace the suck. And the thing that I realized is that what other choice do you have? I mean, like, what other choice do you have? If you were ordained for something, if you feel like you're destined for something greater and you decide to not do it, that's obviously your decision and that's fine. But you're gonna live with that guilt inside of you forever, that regret, that guilt. It's just like, what other choice do you have? You know, it's lonely. You're gonna be alone. You're gonna be torn down 10 times. You're gonna win once and then you get cut another 10 times. It's like, it's not fun. It's genuinely not fun. You just have to realize that it's like, what other choice do you have? It's that simple. At the end of the day, you know, if you are someone, whether you're a man or you're a woman and you're trying to pursue this dream that's mattered to you for so long, I think the most important key is to really accept that you're just weird. Like, you're weird, you're different, you stand out from the crowd, and that's okay. Like, that's amazing. You can't really change who you are. If you are different from the norm, that's one of the biggest blessings that you can have. The biggest disappointment is when you don't take advantage of that, because it's not only wasted potential for you, but it also prevents you from inspiring other people to also embrace their weirdness and the differences that they have. Once you embrace this, it completely frees you, because you realize that the judgments and the perceptions of society and your family and your friends that they may have towards you, it doesn't mean much in the long run if you already accept yourself. If you already embrace that you're different and that you just think in different ways and you have alternative perceptions on life, then it's like nothing can take you off your square. No one's opinions are gonna bother you as much as they would have beforehand. You know, you have to embrace the difference, because if you decide to listen to the identity that the world has assigned to you, then you are basically losing yourself. And when you lose yourself, you lose life. When I was doing this music thing, I was spending one whole year just making content, prepping content, making 1 year worth of music, blah, 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 so I can have a big head start. And then I found out, like, not even 1 to 2 months in, that I just didn't like it anymore and it wasn't serving me. So I'm not saying I wasted that time, but overthinking is just so stressful. It's completely pointless. Like, you have to make mistakes as you go. That's literally how you learn. That is the point of entrepreneurship. That is what business is supposed to be. That's what life is supposed to be. You just have to constantly make the mistakes. And if you have the mental fortitude to continue and persevere after those mistakes, then you're never gonna fall off. You're always gonna be finding a way to correct it. That's like, we're humans, we're smart. Our brains are able to adapt. Make those mistakes as you go. Just don't wait too long. And just keep it simple, goddammit. Determine what your ethos is. And when you make those mistakes along the way, when you do that trial and error, you're gonna just transform yourself day after day after day. And then you're gonna get imposter syndrome. Embrace the imposter syndrome. It's like each day there's gonna be a new challenge. Your identity is gonna get stretched and it's gonna feel so uncomfortable, but just embrace it. That's the point of it. And, you know, just determine your ethos. Determine what you're gonna gain apart from the materialism from this thing. Don't think about it too hard, but just decide it a little bit. Come to some sort of foundation. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for tuning in.